everybody, welcome back to my craft room. I'm Scott, and this is my YouTube channel, Stamping Scott. Thanks so much for joining me. I have a very simple card for you today. It's a thank you card, and it's utilizing a stamp set called Lots of Heart. This is a beautiful stamp set, and I'm really loving the Gingham heart. Gingham is something that has kind of come back on trend, as you can see in the current mini catalog, the holiday mini, which is going away pretty soon. Has this beautiful black and white gingham ribbon. I just love this ribbon. We also have the heart in here. The colors that I'm featuring are black and soft succulent. Soft succulent is a part of the current in color lineup that came out with the last catalog, which is the current catalog, 2021 to 2023. In colors are on trend for 2 years with Stampin' Up. And I have to say, this is a color that is very popular right now. The other in colors in the series include Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, Pale Papaya, and Polished Pink. Love this pink. It's almost as nice as Melon Mumbo, but this is a little bit softer. There's such beautiful colors. This I love too. I finally was able to get this in the Stampin' Blends. And if you're not familiar with Stampin' Blends, they are our alcohol coloring markers, great for shading. So Soft Succulent is the color we're featuring in today. We also have a really cool duo of embossing folders. This one is the checks and dots. We're using the checks today to go with the gingham. I'm also using a foil paper that is featured in the holiday mini catalog. It is a set of 3 foils that have silver, gray, and black. It is just a beautiful metallic finish. You can be creative with this. You could use black cardstock. You could also do something with silver metallic paper. Be creative with it. You can mix it up. I chose this because it looks good with the black gingham ribbon and the black background. It just kind of brings the whole card together. I want to use this card as a way for you to get a better understanding of how you can use color. You know, if there's a color that you really like, use it in combination with black and white. And that way you're using 3 colors, but it made it easier because the black and white are kind of like color bases. And then you could add Bumblebee to that. Looks really cool. That would look really nice in this card. Hearts don't always have to be pink. They can be whatever color you want them, especially this cool gingham heart. We're also going to be using the banner punch. This is one of my favorites because you got the 2 different banners to choose from. And then we have acrylic blocks for the gingham heart. This is a block D. And then for the single heart, we have block B. And for the sentiment, we have block C. We're also going to be using the Stampin' Cut Emboss mini machine. This is such a cute machine. I think everybody should have one. They're only $60. StampingScott.stampinup.net. It's my stamping store. It's open 24/7. Check this out. You're going to love it after you see what I do with it today. If any of these products aren't available, especially the ribbon, we do have our soft succulent open weave ribbon. This would look beautiful too on this card. Let's get started. Clear up my space here. Why don't we do the die cutting first? Yay! Then you can see the new Stampin' Cut Emboss mini machine. And I say it's new because I've never featured it in any of my videos, but I know it's been around for over a year, but you're gonna love it. We all love our Stampin' Cut Emboss mini machine. What I like too is that on the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, you've got these big, heavy plates. With the Stampin' Cut Emboss mini machine, you have these nice small little plates. They're just easier to store. So if you're limited on space, this is really a great opportunity to have a machine that will do both embossing and die cutting. Now, of course, you can't use your standard embossing folders. You have to buy the smaller folders. The nice thing about the smaller folders, they come in pairs for the same price as you would get one for a big machine. So I don't know, it's kind of a win-win situation. The other thing that I love about this is that when you get it, it's all assembled. You don't have to attach the handle. It's all ready to go. Actually, we have to stamp before we die cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring out my soft succulent. And I'm gonna go ahead and ink up the heart stamp. Now I did try to do a silver embossing with this. We kind of lost the gingham effect on the stamp, so you really want to do this with an ink. What's really nice about the photopolymer stamps, you can see how the ink has covered. A little bit more ink on the bottom here. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp it in the center here. And we're going to press and hold it down for about 5 seconds. 1 ringy dingy, 2 ringy dingies. Who remembers that? That tells you how old I am. Okay. Look at how beautiful that is. And the color will fill in as it goes. We don't need to use a foam mat today, so I just have that. Go ahead and close this up. We're gonna go back to this ink pad later. I also have a cut of cardstock for the other layer of the tag. So the tag that we're making is gonna look like this. This is actually attached to the card. So we're gonna be making one of these first. So let's grab the Stampin' Cut Emboss mini machine. Isn't this thing cute? I know, I'll stop talking about how cute it is. How are you guys all doing? I know I said I would try to do one video a month, and you know what? I really wanted to do another video for December, and I'm doing it. So these are my thank you cards to my customers for both Stampin' Up! And Tupperware. As you guys know, I also do Tupperware. Something new I had ventured into, but I did it many, many, many years ago and loved it, so I thought I would give it another shot. And I'm having fun with it. That's the whole idea, is having fun with it. Now, I do like to have a little bit of washi tape or masking tape to be able to put this down. If you do use masking or washi tape, I always put it on my skin first, but this one has been used a little bit, so it's not gonna pull up on my paper. With die cuts, you use base plate 1, and in 2 twos, you make a sandwich. And this machine can feed 3.5-inch wide cardstock. All right. Nice, huh? Like that. Okay, cool. Now we're going to get the soft succulent out. Put that on here. We don't need to use the washi tape or masking tape for that because it's not precision. We're just kind of centering it. And this is gonna have a scalloped edge. And by the way, this is from the Layering Circles die set. It's one of those must-haves. Everybody should have the layering circles and the stitch rectangles. I'm telling you, those are must-haves in your die cut collection. There we go. Look at how cute that is. We're already making a medallion. We're done with the Stampin' Cut Emboss mini machine. Went ahead and did the embossing first, but I guess you guys can see how this was done. There we go, see? I love this little guy. At first I wasn't sure. I was kind of like, well, I already have the big machine. Why would I want a small machine? You know what? Because most of the time you're only gonna be doing small die cuts, and it's easier to handle a smaller machine. And for budget conscious, it's only $60. To me, that's pretty reasonable for a die cutting machine. All right, so let's go ahead and adhere these together. We're gonna use Stampin Seal here, not Stampin Seal Plus, just Stampin Seal. Keeping it simple, you guys. That's what it's all about. I've learned that lesson over the years of making cards. The simple cards are the most fun because you can make a lot of them at one time and you can mix it up. Once you have a base card that you really like, change the color, change the stamp set. Just use this as a template to design your own cards and kind of come up with your own theme. And keep it simple with the color. Like I said, this has one color and then black and white. Super easy. And don't ever feel like you have to use every single stamps in the stamp set. A lot of times we get stamp sets and I love this one, and I like all the sentiments. The other ones I'll warm up to. This kind of is interesting. That might be kind of fun to work with. All right, so we're going to get a hole punch. Now, I don't have a Stampin' Up! Hole punch. I don't know if you guys have seen this dinosaur in the past. This is called a crocodile. Stampin' Up! Actually had one of these in a catalog many years ago. I first found out about Stampin' Up! In 2001. But what's nice about a crocodile is it has hole punches on it because you use it for putting grommets or eyelets on it. A lot of people don't use eyelets anymore. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can embellish your cards that we don't need to have metal pieces on it. But if you like it, crocodile is the way to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and put a hole right here. Of course, if you have a standard hole punch, you wanna make sure that the hole is at least a couple millimeters wide so you can get your ribbon through it, that's all. I have a really tiny pinpoint one and I need it to be bigger than that. So this came in handy. But yes, Stampin' Up!, holy cow, 2001. That's when I first found out about it and I'm like, what a cool idea. Direct sales and stamping. Who would have thought? I was just so excited about it and it's been a part of my life ever since. I re-signed back on in 2008 and then I kind of fell out of it in 2013, 2014 and came back on Robin's team in 2018 and I love it and I am not turning back. I'm with Stampin' Up! going forward. I just love how everything coordinates. The color of the cardstock, the embellishments, everything just works together. I used to go into scrapbook stores and get lost because I would see this really cute embellishment, but then I didn't know how to match it with anything. And I would just get into this mode where I was buying all this stuff and getting all these really great ideas, and then I would come home and look at it and I'd say, but nothing coordinates. Boy, you know, my investment is a big turnaround when I go through a Stampin' Up! Catalog. I know that if I buy this soft succulent ink pad, I'm gonna have a cardstock that matches, I'm gonna have a ribbon that matches, I'm gonna have a theme that works with the colors. It allows me to be more creative and I don't have to worry about things not looking like it coordinates. This is why I use Stampin' Up! This is why I love Stampin' Up! And I'm so thankful for Shelley Gardner and Sarah Douglas for making this company the way it is today. That's just one of my most favorite companies in the whole world. And I love being crafty. This is one of my things. I love being crafty. Okay, Scott's gonna stop talking. We're gonna continue to stamp. Okay. So we're gonna take this beautiful gingham ribbon that is in the mini. It's gonna be discontinued soon, so you can use whatever ribbon you'd like. A black ribbon would be nice. You could use, oh, this is a nice one, a twine that is featured in the Pets bundle. It comes with these two. You can still get this in the annual catalog. That would look really nice. Also, the soft succulent woven mesh ribbon that I just had out and showed you and somehow disappeared into infinity and beyond. Okay, there it is. I'm a little melodramatic today, you guys. There you go. All right. Notice how I use my paper snips for everything. I use it for setting gems. I use it for poking ribbon through holes. And I do use it for cutting. I'll tell you, these paper snips are the most handy tool in my craft room. What I want to do is I want the knot to sit above the scalloped edge. So I'm just going to kind of use my middle finger, hold it there. Maybe get someone else's finger and have them hold it there. Remember how we used to hold our fingers on a knot to tie a knot? There you go. I live alone, so I have to use my own finger. There we go. There we go, cute little tag. We're gonna trim it down, make it look really cute. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Maybe easy peasy soft succulent squeezy. All right, I hope you guys find me somewhat entertaining. Okay, cool. So now we got our cute little label that is gonna go on the front of the card. Now let's look at the two pieces of cardstock we have for the front. On the card, I've got my card base, which is in basic black, and then I have a background, which is basic white. And then these are the cuts of cardstock. So the base of this cardstock is basic black. It's cut 4 1/4 by 11, and it's a stand card, so it's scored at 5 1/2 inches. Then we have the background that is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. It's so funny that I have to think about measurements when I'm in a video. But when I cut my cardstock out to make a card, I just do it. Does anybody else have that? We've been doing it for so long, we don't know how to talk about it. We just have it in our head. You can see how this comes together. And then of course, I do have the foil cardstock that I put through the embossing folder. We're going to create the hearts in the background of this card, creating our own designer series paper. These are the cute hearts in the background. This is where we get to do some more stamping. So I've got the little heart mounted to an acrylic block, and I have my soft succulent out here, and my Memento Tuxedo black. As you guys know, this is an archival ink that you use for coloring with Stampin' Blends markers. You'd use this for the image and the Stampin' Blend markers to color. So you should always have this ink pad on hand. It is like a basic necessity when you're working with Stampin' Up! Products. If you don't have a Memento ink, get one. They are the best. So we're gonna use that as our black, and of course we're going to use our soft succulent. First thing we're gonna do is get our heart all inked up with soft succulent and stamp some hearts. We don't have to be picky about where they go. Just kind of randomly stick them on the paper. Do be careful though, when you do ink up your heart, make sure that there is color all the way through the photopolymer so you don't end up having a half shaded heart. You have a couple that aren't 100% perfect. It's okay. I'm a little OCD, so I tend to be like, well, I can make it better. If I ever made a mistake, I'd flip it over and start on the other side. That's what I do. There we go. And now we're gonna use the Memento. I'm gonna close the ink pad up. This is a really great habit. When you're done using an ink pad, don't leave the pad open. Close it right away. It won't dry up as quickly. Let's just put it this way. When you have open ink pads and you have your hands all over the place, you never know when it's going to hit the ink because it hits everything else. So eventually you're going to have ink everywhere. So I always say close your pads when you're not using them. A little tip from Stampin' Scott today. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move this so I don't ruin that. This is a Stampin' Scrubber. I'm going to go ahead and quickly clean the soft succulent ink off the stamping block. Dry it on this side. Need to have it. This is the best product that we have in the catalog to keep your place clean. And of course, I use Stampin Mist to clean it with. Now we're going to use the Memento. I'm going to check my hands first before I pick up white cardstock. I don't see any ink, so we're good. Okay. Black is a little bit harder to make sure it's all the way through. So always look at your photopolymer before you stamp it with the black ink. When you get nice solid black hearts, it looks really cool. But once again, if you get a couple that are somewhat shaded, not the end of the world. Yeah. Always look though before you stamp. I like these two colors together. I don't know what it is. I was playing with the design of this card and I thought, you know what? I'm going to incorporate black into this card. And I don't always use black a lot. I used to use it much more, especially with bright colors, because it really brings out colors. But black is an essential color to card making. Yep, see? I'll go ahead and stamp that down. Yay! That was easy. Okay, remember, cover the ink so your hands don't end up in it later. I laugh at that because, you know, we always say that our kids get into like crayons and finger paints and everything gets all over the place. And we think that we're adults, we know how to handle, you know, product and not get our hands all over everything. Well, I'll tell you something. The true heart of your kids that do finger painting when they first get their hands on a paint is the way it is when you first get your hands on ink pads for the first time. You will find that you'll have ink everywhere if you don't put the cover on it. So you'll be like, what is it? Henry and the Purple Crayon? I don't know. I can't remember that book. It's a cute book. All right, so we've got our background done. Now we want to trim this. So we're going to cut this down to 4 inches. And this is the Stampin' Trimmer. Actually, I think it's just called the paper trimmer now. All right, there we go. I'm going to use Stampin Seal. I'm going to put this down, not right in the center, but like about 2/3 down. Line it up against the back. Good. Now it's coming together quick, you guys. This is happening fast. And put some ribbon across the back. This is the same ribbon that you use with your tag. So if you decide not to use the gingham ribbon, if you decide to use the soft, succulent, open weave ribbon or the black and white twine, make sure it's the same that you use on the tag. Keep it coordinated, and that makes it simple. You're gonna go ahead and get the Scotch tape and do the cheater method. I mean, if you want to tie it all the way around the back, you can. I just try to make sure it's going through the center. Sometimes it's hard to do that. There you go. I love making videos for you guys. I'm trying so hard to make more of them, so at least once a month. I'm gonna try to do it once a month. And I'm still working on a way to do an online class. I have an idea, just wanna make it affordable and easy to do so you can enjoy it at any time. Stay tuned, there's a new year coming. Okay, so I wanna put this on the background. Look at how fast this is coming together. So I'm going to adhere this to the cardstock first. Now remember, this is basic black, and this is cut at 11 by 4 1/4 and scored at 5 1/2. And I'm going to use Stampin' Seal. You could use Stampin' Seal Plus for this, and the reason why is because you've got something that might lift up the cardstock a little bit. But I find that if you want to just use Stampin' Seal or a regular adhesive, if you've got something that raises the cardstock up, put the adhesive right next to that area so it creates a better seal and it doesn't lift the card front off the front of your card. And do not be stingy with your adhesive. Go crazy. All right, I just love these hearts. Aren't they cute? I'm gonna do a center here. I have my camera down a little lower so my head doesn't get in the way. If you guys know me in real person, you've seen me, you know how tall I am. I'm like 6'7", so it's not easy for me to get my head in the camera, but I'm just saying. It has happened. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that on there. Now we're gonna get some dimensional adhesive. I'm getting low on my dimensions, but I still have some on the corners here. I'll go ahead and put these in the 4s. I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season. Hanukkah just ended about a week and a half ago. For those of you that celebrate Hanukkah, happy belated Hanukkah. And Christmas, of course, as you know, gosh, less than 2 weeks away. Holy cannolis. Do you guys ever get into advent calendars? There's something that really bothers me sometimes with advent calendars, is that they're not really used the way Advent is. A 24-day Advent calendar, in some places it's a 25-day Advent calendar, makes sense because it takes you from the 1st of December all the way to Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. But there's a 12-day Advent calendar, and I don't think the rest of the world understands what 12-day Advent. It's the 12 days of Christmas. 12 days of Christmas is not December 1st through the 12th. It's December 25th through Epiphany, when the kings arrived to deliver the gifts to baby Jesus. So that's January 6th. So in case you're ever wondering why they have 12-day Advent calendars, because the 12 days of Christmas. Christmas is actually celebrated all the way from December 25th till January 6th, traditionally. Now, in the Western world that we live in, obviously not everyone can have off all that time. So, I have seen Christmas trees out in the trash can the day after Christmas. I'm just like, no judgment, you guys. I just thought the rest of the world might want to know why we have 12-day Advent calendars and what the 12 days of Christmas really are. It's the days preceding Christmas until Epiphany. So we're going to go ahead and now use the banner punch to do the sentiment, and we're almost done. But have you guys ever had an Advent calendar as an adult? I know there's a ton of them out there. Last year I got my mom a Nespresso, which is a Nestle coffee company. I got her an Advent calendar. This year I couldn't get one. They were sold out so fast, and she had so much fun trying a different coffee every day. So I ended up getting a chocolate calendar from IKEA, and it has really cool German chocolates in them. It also has a $5 off coupon that you can use at IKEA that you can start using after the 24th of December. And it has a free meatball plate. I mean, you can't go wrong. Free meatballs at IKEA. Okay, we're gonna do the sentiment. I promise we're almost done here. Let me get my Memento ink. But I love Christmas time. It's such a wonderful time of year. I know you guys all do too, I'm sure. It's so pretty because you know what? Especially in other cultures and other religious beliefs, everyone during this time of year tries to find light wherever you can get it. And they create it if you don't have it. Hanukkah gives you 8 nights of light. At Christmas time, we're always trying to find light with our trees and our bushes all lit up at night. I just think light is everywhere to be found. There's lots of light in the solstice. We think of the moon and the stars and all the lights around us. It's really cool. I love this time of year because we're always looking and giving light wherever we can. And that's what it's all about. When you share a card with somebody and you share kindness, you're also giving light. You're lighting up somebody's heart. Now, when I designed this card, I did not intend to put any bling on the front of it. But then, like I was just talking about, during Christmas time, we're looking to bring light. Now, of course, this doesn't have to be a Christmas card. This is obviously an all-occasion thank you card. But I'm mailing it out to my customers during this time when it is Christmas time. I want to bring a little light into the world, not just the light into their heart. So we're going to add a little rhinestone at the tip of the heart, just to top it off, right? So we're going to go ahead and put the sentiment on here. I played with this one for a while. I thought I could stick it out of the back. And it's just, if I had done a long card, I could have done something like that. And you can change it up. You can make it that way. So I found it to be best right over here. This is all about being handmade. It's coming from your heart. There we go. Cut that as straight as I can. Now you could also use the black as a background versus the soft succulent. Yeah, whatever you want to do. I'm going to get the mini dimensionals. Just put 2 here. There we go. Yay, there's our card. Oh wait, no. We got the bling. I almost forgot the bling. Remember the light at the top of your heart? That's what I want to bring on here. We're going to take this rhinestone gems here, the big one. I always use my scissors, and we're gonna put it right at the corner of the heart, right there. Boom, just like that. Now we're finished. Yay! Look at that, and now I got 2 cards done. Look at that, I have about 5 more to do. Thank you everybody for joining me on this video. I really appreciate you being a follower on my YouTube channel, Stampin' Scott. Please, if you really want to support me, there's 2 things that you can do. Actually, there's 3. You can go ahead and hit the subscribe button and tell your friends and share my video on your social media. Maybe they'll also hit subscribe as well. You can also give me a thumbs up and say, hey, I like that video, and then leave a comment below. Not on Facebook, but I do appreciate it, but leave a comment in YouTube. And that's because YouTube is its own platform, and when you leave comments below, it lets everyone else in the world know that this video might actually be something other people want to see, and it will hop on to the rest of the world so other people can easily see it. I really appreciate you taking the time. I hope you liked today's simple card. Remember, when you make cards like this, especially if you're going to make lots of them, keep it simple. Find one color, match it up with black and white, come up with something creative. Use my designs as inspiration, please. That's why I do these videos. If you like the products you saw in my video today, I will have a list at the end of this video. All the products I used today can be purchased 24/7 in my shopping site, stampingscott.stampinup.net. Hey everybody, thank you once again. If I don't see you before then, or I don't make a video before then, I wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. Keep it merry and bright in all of your lives, and keep shining with your kindness with your friends and family, and you'll have a wonderful season. Thank you so very much. It's always a pleasure to serve you and to give you a little bit more creative inspiration. And as my card says, thank you so very much. Bye for now. Now we want to trim this foil piece of cardstock down to the exact width of the blah 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 blah. Do you guys remember the Peanuts? And in the episodes when the teacher would speak and she'd go wah 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 wah. Sometimes I feel that way. I feel like it's better just to talk that way because I don't know what the heck comes out of my mouth sometimes. I use something else for emboss. Blah 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 wah 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 wah. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please check out some of my other videos on my YouTube channel, Stampin' Scott. See you really soon.